I'm singling out Professor Olaiwola because in the next 3 or 4 weeks, he will be sitting down like this, and we are doing the same thing for him. A special degree will be given to our Deputy Vice Chancellor. I mean, the dean normally awards B-Farm, so I wouldn't know which one he wants to award to the Deputy Vice Chancellor. Please, if you support me, please put your hands together. Thank you very much, sir. And also, let me assist my MC in recognizing also the presence of the Dean, Faculty of Pharmacy, University of Ibadan. Dean, sir, that's Professor Denny. Welcome, sir. Please, our ushers, please quickly help us bring the Dean down here to the high table. Please, ushers, please welcome the Dean. He's hiding there. He's a man of, yes, a gentleman, and so he likes to come in gently. Thank you, sir. You are welcome, sir. Please, let's give a round of applause for our Dean as he comes forward. Okay. Yes, he's coming. You know, I told you he will come. Thank you, sir. And sitting right beside him is the former, is retiring into strength. Is retiring only to inspire and fire us up even the more. So thank you, and you still remain within us, even though you now and we are very sure that your landlady will take care of you. Thank you, ma, our landlady. Today's program has been put together by a committee of erudite scholars. We have a good number of professors in the team, my senior colleagues in community pharmacy, several professionals in hospital and administrative pharmacy, others in industrial pharmacy, and quite a number of our members in the diaspora. It has been a great privilege for me to serve as the chairman of the Central Steering Committee and to work alongside all the committees that have labored tirelessly from the very first day. We have held meetings during the day and even some nocturnal meetings. It has really been a honor leading this remarkable group of people in putting together the program we are gathered here for today. Of course, if you know Professor Erhun very well, you know that just like God, he does not give you an assignment and then go to sleep. So he supported us all through, guided us, and remained constant and available. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I warmly welcome you all to this program. I assure you that we are mindful of time and we will do everything possible to ensure that you enjoy every moment without feeling bored. Thank you very much and have a wonderful time. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Dr. Adeyemi, the chairman of the Central Planning Committee. And now I will welcome to the microphone Professor Sharon Ibinoba to come and present the citation of Professor Wilson Erhun. Professor Ibinoba, please. I'm very sorry for the mix-up. Before that, let us welcome the chairman of this occasion, who is the Vice Chancellor of our great university, Professor Simeon Adebayo Bamire, ably represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation and Development, Professor Akoni Akinyemi, to come and make his opening remarks. DVC, please.
Thank you, MC. Please, let's clap for our MC. You are smiling now. It's good for MC to smile. Oh. Because when you bring class to do MC work, it will be tough. Oh. Yes, thank you so much, MC. Please, let me start first by appreciating God. It's only God that can give a man the ability to live for 70 years and still be standing. And not just him. If you had the age of his wife and those that God has blessed him to bring to this world, I think you give God a clap offering. I bring greetings from the Vice Chancellor. He has planned to be here himself. But again, we had some visitors from Abuja that he needs to attend to. So he just called that I should come and represent him. So I bring greetings from the Vice Chancellor. We've planned to be here with the whole management. So Prof, please, he sent his greetings and apologies for sending me. You know how much the Vice Chancellor owed you in high esteem. So he said I should personally greet you. Please permit me to recognize those on the high table, starting from Professor Wanang, the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Education, Pakshin. Prof, thank you so much, sir. Professor Achifa Tape, the President of West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists. Yes. Professor Olufunsho Awodele, the Secretary General of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists. Thank you for coming, sir. And our home mommy, Professor Onawumi, representing Professor Lere Bale. You are welcome, man. Professor Cyril Usifo, immediate past president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. You are welcome, sir. Professor Odediran, the Dean, Faculty of Pharmacy, University of Ibadan. Thank you. So please let me come home and first to recognize and appreciate the host, the Dean of the Faculty of Pharmacy here, a wonderful man that is doing wonderful thing, Professor Shoyinka. Thank you so much. Thank you for making this to happen. So we have a member of council who is here to authorize what we are doing today. Professor Ayoka. Thank you, sir. We have the Dean Student Affairs, Professor Dedire. And the Dean of Clinical, Professor Salau. Professor Salako. Sorry, Prof. And we have former deans of pharmacy. In fact, the way they sat, you'll be so happy. They say, we are here today. So let me start from the one that gave me tie. Prof, I would have put on the tie, but I was in another meeting. So, Professor Ladiveji, thank you so much. Prof, you are not wearing your own tie. Why? Professor Adebajo, thank you so much, sir. And Professor Akom, I think I saw him. Prof, thank you so much, sir. Greetings to all our professors, particularly Prof that will be retiring also very soon. Prof, sir, we'll be here very soon to hit your rights too very soon. Thank you so much. Yeah. So please permit me therefore to go through the, there are many people here, I've forgotten them. All head of departments, particularly the head of department of Professor Erhun. Please, let's clap for them, please. Thank you for putting this together. All our professors, our colleagues, alumni of the faculty, all our invited guests and friends of Professor Erhun. Now we have to recognize these people specially. Those are the students and mentees of Professor Erhun. Please, if you are here, can you please stand up as we appreciate you? Oh, it was a mentor too. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you so much. All our students, members of the press, and please permit me to specially recognize somebody, because if I don't do it well, let me leave that side. And that's the person who also made today to be possible, who God used to make Professor Erhun to be smiling today. If you know Professor Erhun, you know, you see him smiling today. It can only mean that maybe this morning he has had a very good breakfast. So for that person who always makes sure that he had a good breakfast and that he smiles when he's even going to bed, that's the wife, a legal luminary, Professor Mrs. Erhun. Please stand up. Let them clap for you. Enjoy it. Because it's your day. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting him. Yes. Prof, say thank you to her now. Thank you so much, man. Please let me go to the speech of the Vice Chancellor. It's a real privilege to stand before you today to honor a man whose name has become synonymous with excellence, integrity, and quiet impact. Today we gather now to say goodbye to Professor Wilson Erhun, for a man of his stature never truly lives. We gather to celebrate a legacy. We gather also to launch a book that will shape future generations. And we gather to unveil the Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration, an institution designed to carry its vision forward. Professor Erhun joined the service of this great university and has served for 47 distinguished years. I did not say 7, I said 47, please. Prof, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is not merely duration of service, it is a lifetime of sacrifice. As a scholar, his contribution to the field of pharmacy administration are unparalleled. He did not simply teach from textbooks. He wrote the standards. He did not simply follow the path. He blazed the trail. His research, his publications, his supervision of graduate students, and his quiet insistence on rigor and relevance have elevated not just this department, but this entire university. I think you will clap for him, please. When people speak of Obafemi Awolowo University and its contribution to pharmacy education in Nigeria, the name Professor Wilson Erhun is never far from their lips. Prof, on behalf of the university, we sincerely want to thank you. We thank you so much for building lives. Please permit me to mention my personal encounter with Professor Erhun, and I think we would have forgotten. I will just mention two. One that was almost 30 years now, and one that happened around 3-4 years ago. In 1998, I was on my graduate studies, and the postgraduate hall used to be very dirty. Our restroom used to be very, very bad. And so, rather than complaining, we asked what to do. So I wrote letters to all the banks in Nigeria, just to tell them that we have problems in PG Hall, that we need help, and that if you help us, we will put your logo to whatever help you have done to market you. So on the last day, I just think about it also, that I say, Obafemi Awolowo University Community Bank. I never wanted to write them. You know, they were just under here, if you remember. But I just think about, let me write. It doesn't cost anything if I'm writing all the banks. So I also posted their own to them. Only 2 banks replied me. First Bank of Nigeria and OAU Community Bank. No, don't clap yet, oh. Because First Bank replied me and they appreciated the letter so much. But why it is impossible for them to just support our university, particularly just one hall, and that I should look for help elsewhere. The reply from Community Bank was not posted to me. I was in my room when somebody knocked and brought the letter. And it was Professor Erhun that brought that letter. I know you have forgotten, but you don't know it's me. Okay. And he said, young man, you wrote this letter? I said, yes. I said, what are you thinking about? I said, we just need to help this place. He said, so what do you think we can do? He said, we don't have so much money. I said, well, we can just start with the toilets and just to clean the place. I said, what can we do? I said, let's get dustbins. So we sat down together to map it out. So when you see dustbins in PG today, it came from his influence. So big ones on all of the, to coordinate, then for each of those toilets, he bought drums that then we were getting water. And he supported that thing for about a year or 2. Then, God bless you, sir. God bless you. I know you have forgotten, but you will remember as I mentioned it today. Thank you again. The second thing was when I became the executive director for research. And we said we need to move from one faculty to another to go and discuss our plans with people. So those who went to pharmacy, I was not there, told me that, it's tough. Oh, there's one professor in pharmacy that was, saying, no, it doesn't make sense. You should focus on research. I said, who is the professor? This is Professor Erhun. Then I said, I will see him. But to my surprise, he just called me in the evening. He said, Akemi, where are you? I said, you sent people to that? I said, yes, sir. He said, can we talk? I said, yes, sir. The next morning, he came to meet me in the office, very early in the morning. I was a small place then. So he said, I heard your people, I was not convinced. It doesn't make sense. I said, Prof, sit down, let's talk. And we spoke for like almost 2 hours that day. When we finished, he looked straight to me and said, I'm convinced. He said, if you need any messenger in this university, he said, call me. He said, I will do the errand for you. He said, you are doing the right thing. And that stick, it stick with me. And he prayed that will be successful. We are making success, sir. Thank you so much. God bless, sir. I raised those points to let you know that your influence is not just in pharmacy. You have raised leaders that you don't even know. Thank you so much for all that you do. So the theme for a celebration today is celebrating 47 years of wisdom, impact, legacy, and scholarship. I think that is fitting. For all of his academic accomplishments, what those who have encountered him remember, just as I put to you today, most is not his publications. I've never even read him because I'm not in pharmacy. But his good works, I can tell you. I just gave you 2. There are several I can share here. I have the privilege of sitting in many meetings with Professor Erhun, and I've learned, as many of you have, that when the discussion is deadlocked, when the arguments are circling endlessly, you look to him. He may sit in silence for a long while, but when he speaks, the room shifts. Prof, your voice in Senate is always timely. He puts his argument in a very creative, thinking so critically. I bring deep thoughts. Prof, I'm sure we'll miss you in Senate. Thank you so much for all those logics. So today we are here not just to do this, but also to launch a landmark textbook that is called Pharmacy Jurisprudence in West Africa. I know that the book will be very useful for many of us. Mommy, I think you also put a touch of legal stuff into the book because I saw jurisprudence there. Okay. And we also launched the WEFPA, an initiative that will ensure the vision of mentorship, excellence, and administrative rigor continues long after today. WEPA is not a monument, it is a movement. It is a commitment to raise the next generation of pharmacy administrators, leaders, thinkers, just as Professor Erhun has done for the last 47 years. Professor Erhun, on behalf of the university management, on behalf of Senate, on behalf of the students, on behalf of this university community, we want to say thank you. Thank you for giving your life to the services of this university. And thank you for all you do. Thank you for opening your doors to many of us to learn from. I sincerely want to plead with all of us. If you can stand on your feet, please, let's stand up where Professor Erhun sits. And please, let's continue to clap for him, just in appreciation of his services to this university. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Please, you may have your seat. Thank you, sir. So we pray that your days ahead be filled with peace, with joy, and the quiet satisfaction of a life well lived. You have found your rest, but I suspect you will not rest because you will still be knocking. Because men like you do not know how to stop building. Thank you, Professor Erhun. Thank you, and thank you so much. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless Obafemi Law University. And God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, the VC and Chairman. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. When the VC of an institution pours these encomiums going back memory lane on an erudite professor, that tells you the value and the impact of Professor Erhun within this university. And it represents the opinions of all of us across different generations in this university. Prof, thank you very much, sir. Now, we can now invite to the microphone Professor Sharon Igbinoba to come and present the citation of Professor Wilson Erhun.
I wish you a happy birthday. Ooh, yeah. Very, very many happy returns.
The chairman of this great occasion, the Vice Chancellor of this great university, Obafemi Awolowo University, Professor A.S. Bamire, ably represented by the DVC Research, Innovation and Development, Professor A.I. Akinyemi. I would like to stand on existing protocol because of time. Do I have your permission? Yes, thank you very much. So I'll just go on to do the assignment. But before then, I'd like to congratulate my teacher and mentor. It's such a great day, and I'm so happy. Congratulations to you and the family and everyone here. We shall have seasons of joys like this in our midst in Jesus' name. So I'll just go on to take the citation. Citation for Professor Wilson Erhun. Yes, please, sir. Yeah, please, sir, can you please stand? Sorry, that was an omission. Please, can you just... Please, let's clap for him as he does that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
You look so good. You look so...
Citation for Professor Wilson Erhun, a scholar, a leader, a mentor, a legacy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, honored guest, it is both a privilege and a profound honor to present this citation in recognition of an outstanding scholar, administrator, mentor, and leader in the field of pharmacy. Professor Erhun was born on May 26, 1956, and has devoted more than 4 decades to advancing pharmaceutical education, research, and professional practice in Nigeria and across West Africa. His academic journey began at the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, where he earned a Bachelor of Pharmacy with distinction. He later earned a master's degree, a PhD in pharmacognosy, and a Master of Business Administration, an uncommon blend of scientific depth and managerial insight. We can call him faculty, isn't it? Professor Erhun, a registered pharmacist since 1979 and a fellow of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, rose through the academic ranks through merit and dedication, attaining the rank of professor in 2006. He is the first professor of pharmacy administration in Africa. His career has been marked by exceptional service within and beyond the university system, including roles as Dean of the Faculty of Pharmacy, Head of Department, and member of the University Senate. He also served as Foundation Dean at Niger Delta University, significantly contributing to the development of pharmacy education in emerging institutions. Professor Erhun's influence extends far beyond the classroom. As a former Secretary General of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists and Chairman of the Faculty of Social and Administrative Pharmacy, he has played a pivotal role in shaping postgraduate pharmacy training and professional standards throughout the sub-region. His contributions to accreditation, curriculum development, and capacity building have strengthened pharmaceutical education systems across multiple countries. He is the Chairman, Board of Trustees of the Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration. I thought we should clap for that. Thank you. A prolific scholar, Professor Erhun has authored and co-authored numerous peer-reviewed publications spanning clinical pharmacy, pharmaceutical policy, health systems, and pharmacy education. His work reflects a deep commitment to improving patient care, strengthening health system, and advancing the role of pharmacists in society. His research has addressed critical issues such as medication adherence, pharmaceutical service delivery, and the economics of pharmacy education in Nigeria. Beyond academia, Professor Erhun has rendered distinguished national and international services. He has worked closely with the Federal Ministry of Health, the World Health Organization, and other global partners on initiatives addressing essential medicines, drug supply systems, and the pharmaceutical care. His expertise has informed policy, guided practice, and improved healthcare delivery across Nigeria. A mentor to generations, he has supervised numerous postgraduate students, including over 45 West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists fellowship dissertations, many master's degrees, and 5 PhDs, thereby shaping the careers of pharmacists who now occupy leadership roles across academia, industry, and regulatory institutions. In recognition of his outstanding contributions to the profession, Professor Erhun has received several awards, including the 2009 May and Baker Professional Services Award in Pharmacy. He is also a fellow of the Nigeria Academy of Pharmacy and the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. Today, we celebrate not only a distinguished academic career, but a legacy of service, leadership, and impact. His life's work stands as a testament to excellence, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to advancing pharmacy and healthcare in Africa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride and deep respect that we present to you Professor Wilson Oyikobo Erhun. Please, let's give it to him.
Happy, happy birthday. That is all I can say. I wish you many, many happy returns. Happy, happy birthday. That is all I can say. I wish you many, many happy returns.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Mr. Vice Chancellor, Professor Simeon Bamire, who is represented here today by my brother, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation and Development. Sir, you have said some things this morning that I had long forgotten if I did them. I thank you for the honor. The president of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, a friend whom, when I was SG, he was in charge of the annual conference of WAPCP in Liberia during the Ebola period. And we had the fear of canceling the program. But Hasiba Tape was there strong as the local organizing committee chairman, and the conference ultimately held. Appreciate him, please. The Secretary General of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, Professor Awodele, we appreciate your presence. My brother, I was actually looking at my photographs in the archives, and when I served as Dean of Pharmacy, and I discovered that you as SG was here on 2 occasions as we inducted our final year students who were graduating as pharmacists. Then you were not looking like this. But now that you are Vice Chancellor, you are looking a bit different. But we cannot forget your role while I was Dean. Please appreciate Professor Wana. The truth is, the Nigerian Academy of Pharmacy is an institution that is so dear to us. And today, the president of the Nigerian Academy of Pharmacy, Professor Larry Bale, my brother and friend, is represented by my sister and friend, but an older person in terms of retirement. She has blazed the trail, and I'm following from today. And he's represented by Professor Grace Onomi, a former dean of the Faculty of Pharmacy of Bafemi Awolowo University. And then, of course, we also have the past president of the PSN, Professor, he's my friend, my brother. And as president of PSN, we had so many things in common. And just like Professor Wanang did not want to come alone, he came with a wife this man hardly travels without the wife. And the wife is also a professor of clinical pharmacy in University of Benin. But himself is a professor of pharmaceutical chemistry where I had my MSc. Please, Professor Cyril for a past president of the PSN. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and then the dean of pharmacy, UI, there's something about the man. I remember in those days when I was still adjunct in UI and he was in charge of postgraduate matters, he has his own peculiar way. Any person that had contact with it, then you will know that this man is unique. And I'm sure that you are a great blessing to Ibadan. And we thank God you are here today as a blessing to us. You are welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Dean of Pharmacy UI. Well, the only person not introduced on the high table at this time is my boss. And remains my boss until tomorrow, when he can no longer control me. He happens to be the dean of the Faculty of Pharmacy and also a member of the advisory board of the Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration. Professor Choyinka, Bishop Professor Choyinka. Just for the one of time, because I've seen people here that I must mention and I will not finish if I go this way. Mr. Vice Chancellor, principal officers of the university in absentia, distinguished colleagues, friends, pharmacists, lawyers, ministers of the gospel, students, members of my family, ably represented here, fully represented here. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. There comes a time in life when one must pause, not simply to count years, but to interpret them. A valedictory lecture is not merely about retirement. It is about reflection. It's an opportunity to look back with gratitude, to look around with understanding, and to look ahead with hope. Today, I share my reflections through a simple metaphor that has stayed with me for many years. Big tomatoes rise to the top on rough roads. A farmer loads tomatoes into a truck and deliberately takes the roughest road to market. As the vehicle shakes over potholes and stones, the larger tomatoes gradually rise to the top, while the smaller ones settle beneath. The rough road does the sorting. For many years, I thought the lesson was simply about hardship, but with time, I came to understand something deeper. The rough road is not merely an obstacle, it is also an instrument. Without shaking, there may be no sorting. Without resistance, perhaps no rising. Looking back over nearly 5 decades of academic life, professional leadership and ministry, I have come to see that much of my own journey unfolded exactly that way. As scripture says, to everything there is a season. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. The early rough roads. I was born in Warri, like been said, in 1956, and one of my earliest lessons about justice came unexpectedly in primary school. In primary 5, the proprietor's child was initially announced as the best graduating pupil in the class. But one courageous teacher insisted that the scores be recomputed. When they were reviewed, it turned out that I, not the proprietor's child, had come first. At the time, it almost caused a crisis. Looking back now, I realized it was my first encounter with the tension between merit and privilege. Later, during secondary school at St. Peter Clavers College, Agalope, another apparently ordinary event quietly shaped my future. A young undergraduate from the University of Benin came to teach us chemistry during a vacation program. He was brilliant, inspiring, and engaging. Through him, pharmacy stopped being an abstract profession and became something I could imagine for myself. A seed was planted. I later proceeded to Government College, Ughelli, for higher school certificate studies. Those were difficult years because qualified science teachers were limited, if available. Yet God provided encouragement and companionship. One of my classmates was Dr. Peter Opre. Are you in the house here, please? Dr. Opre, where are you? Dr. Opre. Okay, God bless you. Now a distinguished consultant family physician. We shared identical results in physics, chemistry, and biology. He eventually studied medicine at the University of Benin, but my mind was already fixed. I wanted pharmacy at the University of Ife, now Bafemi Awolowo University, or nowhere else. I later, thank you. Great Ife. I later found out it is the premier pharmacy school in Nigeria. Unfortunately, my results at the time were insufficient for admission into pharmacy at OAU. Rather than abandon my dream, I repeated upper 6 at Federal Government College, Warri. Looking back now, I recognize that decision as one of my earliest lessons in disciplined persistence. Sometimes destiny requires repetition before admission. Eventually, by the grace of God, the door opened and I was admitted to study pharmacy at OAU. After my graduation and during my one-year internship, I started an MSc program in pharmaceutical chemistry while working as a demonstrator intern in pharmaceutics in order to support myself financially. I completed the program within the specified period of internship. At the time, my future appeared clear. After my National Youth Service, I returned to OAU wanting to pick up an appointment in the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry where I had a master's degree, but I was not given the opportunity. But Providence had other plans. Professor Abayomi Sofora, may you so rest in peace, later asked whether I would consider pursuing postgraduate work in pharmacognosy if offered an academic appointment. Oh, I accepted. And in 1980, I joined the university as an assistant lecturer in pharmacognosy. I completed my PhD. Thank you. I completed my PhD in pharmacognosy in 1984, thereby becoming the first PhD holder in the discipline from this university. Yet, life changed direction quietly when I was appointed the first curriculum development officer of the Faculty of Pharmacy while I was still a lecturer too and on my PhD program. For the first time, I began to think about pharmacy not merely as a laboratory science, but as a system shaped by administration, policy, regulation, education, and leadership. Something shifted permanently within me. My interest gradually moved towards pharmacy administration. The challenge, however, was that the field was not yet properly institutionalized. There were no clear pathways. The vision had changed within me long before the system was ready for it. What followed? Because became one of the longest rough roads of my career. I saw transfer into the emerging area of clinical pharmacy and pharmacy administration. To me, the logic seemed straightforward. I had curriculum development exposure. I have administrative interest. Indeed, I had management training and growing scholarly commitment. But institutions do not always move at the speed of vision. Committees met. Discussions occurred. Recommendations were written, yet movement remained painfully slow. During the prolonged waiting period, I became deeply discouraged, and on 3 different occasions wrote either to resign my appointment or to transfer my services completely away from the university. Yet none of those attempts came to fruition, as though an unseen hand was quietly directing the course of events, and so the years passed eventually. After nearly a decade of uncertainty, I had to do a memo chronicling my experience and titled it Interdepartmental Transfer, a Decade of Trauma. That title reflected the experience of vision without placement and contribution without alignment. Yet, through all those years, one thing survived: vision. I still believed pharmacy administration had a future, and I would be part of it. And perhaps that is one of the deepest lessons rough roads teach. Delay is not always denial. Sometimes institutions simply arrive late to futures that pioneers saw much earlier. God uses detours. During those difficult years, I eventually came to an important conclusion. If one road refused to open immediately, I would not sit down in bitterness. I would keep moving. Looking back now, many of the opportunities that later shaped my life emerged during the very years I once regarded as frustrating delays. One of them came through Professor Tayo, a great mentor, who drew my attention to an advertisement for the position of Executive Secretary of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. Against all expectations, and after a very rigorous recruitment and selection process, I became the first Executive Secretary of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. I served in that capacity for 15 months until it became clear that the system did not have a structure that would accommodate both an Executive Secretary and a National Secretary. I had to resign because I did not want to tarnish my Christian testimony arising from internal wranglings then. Later came other opportunities. The Drug Reforming Fund program under the Petroleum Trust Fund initiative, where I served as a project manager of the South-South Zone. I got an appointment as the founding dean of the Faculty of Pharmacy at Niger Delta University. And later, also got an appointment as consultant at the Delta State University with the responsibility of assisting the founding dean, Professor David Okpako, blessed memory, to birth the pharmacy program. Looking back now, I sometimes ask, would those experiences have come if my transition had happened smoothly and immediately? Probably not. The delay itself became a classroom. The rough road was enlarging capacity. The breakthrough, eventually, the Department of Clinical Pharmacy and Pharmacy Administration was physically and effectively established in November 1996 at Obafemi Awolowo University. I remember thinking, at last, the struggle is over. But another season of waiting still remained. Again, God raised people along the way, especially Professor Abayomi Sofora, my academic mentor, who quietly but steadfastly supported my interdepartmental transfer once he became convinced of the vision and my capacity for the field. By then, I had already spent almost 10 years as a senior lecturer in pharmacognosy. Yet, when the transfer eventually came, I had to begin again in the new department at the same rank of senior lecturer, following a rigorous interview process in which a professor of administration was invited as an external expert perhaps to determine whether I truly possess the capacity to survive and succeed in the proposed field. Humanly speaking, discouragement will have been understandable. At times, it seems that few people truly believed in me, but I believed in myself. And even more importantly, I believed in the God who had ordered my steps. Ironically, as far back as 1992, I had already gotten a short-term opportunity to work with Professor Fred Erhun as visiting international professor of pharmacy practice management at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Yet, despite that international recognition, it was not until 1999, 3 years after the creation of the department, that I eventually secured my transfer to pharmacy administration, and even then, still at the rank of senior lecturer. But rough roads teach endurance. And endurance is not passive resignation. It is disciplined persistence without bitterness. Then at last came the breakthrough. After 21 long years as a senior lecturer in the Faculty of Pharmacy, in 2008, recommendation that had lingered unresolved for years finally came to fruition. I was promoted to the rank of reader with the appointment backdated to 2002. Then in December of that same year, through what I can only describe as divine intervention, another promotion followed, this time to the rank of professor of pharmacy administration. I'm backdated 2 years by God's grace. I became not just a professor, but the professor of pharmacy administration actually in Africa. In due course, all outstanding arrears were paid. Looking back now, I see far more than promotion. I see the vindication of persistence. I see the vindication of faith. I see the vindication of purpose. I also recognize that I did not walk the road alone. Many people, please, yes. Many people travailed in prayers on my behalf. I must particularly acknowledge today Pastor Dr. Elijah Oludele Abino of the Gospel Faith Mission International General Overseer. And they are fully represented here today. And led, I think, is Pastor Omowumi, the General Secretary of the mission, around here, please. Please appreciate it. And a team of other members of the management. And also the prayers of my mentor, Archbishop Simon Onibere, for their prayers. God truly answers prayers, I tell you. I had the privilege of serving as Dean of the Faculty of Pharmacy OAU from 2017 to 2019. During that period, we introduced what became known as the class set strategy for alumni mobilization. Different graduating sets began sponsoring projects within the faculty. It was deeply encouraging to see former students appreciate that institutions grow stronger when alumni see themselves not merely as beneficiaries, but as custodians of a shared legacy. One of my sincere hopes is that Great Ife Pharmacy Conference, especially the alumni reunion component woven into it, will never be allowed to fade away. In the end, the rough road finally acknowledged what it had been carrying all along: big tomatoes. Ministry calling and staying the course. During those same years, another struggle was unfolding quietly within me. At one point, I became deeply convinced that I should resign from the university entirely. and enter full-time ministry. Looking back now, one might ask whether professional frustrations made that option appealing or appear spiritually attractive. I can honestly say no. The burden to serve God was genuine and deeply personal. But during one important conversation, Archbishop Simon Onibere asked me two simple yet profound questions. One of them, did God tell you when to resign? The other one, and did he tell you the form your ministry would take? Those questions permanently changed my thinking. One thing was certain, I wanted to serve God wholeheartedly. But I began to understand that obedience is not only about sincerity of desire, it is also about clarity of divine direction. It was therefore in the place of prayer that I sensed the nudge to begin a fellowship among pharmacists. From that prompting, one step led to another. And in 1988, during the PSN conference at the Nikon Noga Hilton Hotel in Abuja, the Christian Pharmacists Fellowship of Nigeria was born. What began as a quiet burden quietly has grown into a movement. And today I'm deeply encouraged to see the fellowship waxing stronger. I'm particularly delighted that Max Obeka, pharmacist Max Obeka, are you there? The immediate past president of CPFN. God bless you. Pharmacist Ochuko Omeruaye, the current national president of the fellowship. Are you there? God bless you. In 1991, I encouraged the leaders of the pharmacy brethren at OAU. The national fellowship was also born in 1991. Is the president here of that fellowship OAU chapter, the national president. God bless you. This year, by the grace of God, the fellowship will be celebrating 35 years, the NFCPS, 35 years of existence, with chapters in most of the faculties of pharmacy in Nigeria. Interestingly, visible Christian commitment within professional spaces does not always make the road smoother. Sometimes it creates additional pressures, misunderstandings, and quiet resistance. But on rough roads, God has a way of raising helpers and strengthening convictions. Gradually, I began to understand the lesson that will shape the rest of my life. Not every pulpit is inside a church building. Some pulpits are classrooms. Some are professional fellowships. Some are books. Some are mentorship relationships. The classroom became ministry. Leadership to me became ministry. Waiting also became ministry. And even delay also became my ministry. With the passage of time, I began to notice something intriguing. Best students in school do not always become the most effective professionals in practice. That observation troubled me deeply, and I decided to take it to God in prayer. Out of that burden was born the Hour of Inspiration, a monthly mentoring and leadership platform which holds on the last Friday of every month on Zoom, 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., 1 hour and 1 hour. What started as a quiet response to an observed need has steadily grown into a platform for shaping character, leadership, and professional effectiveness. This Friday, by the grace of God, the 71st edition will be focusing on the power of reflection. Please don't miss it. The Hour of Inspiration is built around one important conviction. Outstanding performance requires more than academic brilliance. It requires soft skills, character, discipline, emotional intelligence, accountability, communication, and the ability to lead oneself and others effectively. On rough roads, technical competence alone is really enough. Character is what keeps the big tomatoes from spoiling before they reach their destination. Looking back now, I realize that many of the rough roads I once prayed against were actually roads that God was using to shape vision, deepen character, and position purpose. And increasingly, Romans 8:28 took on a deeper meaning for me, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose. Not some things, all things, even rough roads. When people become the roads, as I reflect on this journey, one truth becomes unmistakably clear: no one rises alone. No one rises alone. If big potatoes eventually rose to the top on rough roads, then someone helped load the truck. Someone steadied the vehicle through difficult stretches. Someone encouraged the driver not to abandon the journey midway. I remain profoundly grateful to mentors, colleagues, friends, students, family members whose encouragement, prayers, sacrifices, and support became part of this story. Professor Folatayo played a particularly significant role at several stages of my academic journey. He was a strong encourager of the CPFM vision alongside Professor Philip Olunriola. At a time when opposition and resistance could easily have discouraged us, their support gave strength, legitimacy to the vision as we press forward. Indeed, it was upon the shoulders of Professor Folatayo that I gained access to the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists. Through that opportunity, I had the privilege of serving as Secretary General of the college for 2 terms, later as Chairman of the Faculty of Social Administrative Pharmacy, and currently as Chairman of the Vice Chancellor of the Joint Faculty Board. I almost said Vice Chancellor, because they say that the Chairman of the Joint Faculty Board, according to the SG of the college, is the Vice Chancellor of the college. Indeed, through that opportunity that I've gotten, looking back, I would say we must begin to think institutionally. Think rich. The memory of Professor Shofura also remains deeply precious to me. Even when my academic direction gradually shifted away from his own discipline, he was my supervisor for my PhD in pharmacognosy. So imagine that your first PhD is changing course completely from, nobody will be glad about that. But he was a man of large heart. Over the years, I have come to understand that true mentorship is not possession. True mentorship is stewardship. Legacy beyond our life. As one grows older, legacy begins to matter more deeply. Knowledge becomes an institution. Experience becomes structure. Vision becomes transferable. That conviction partly explains the establishment of the Winston Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration. The foundation represents the continuation of a lifelong commitment to strengthening pharmacy leadership, pharmacy jurisprudence, ethical practice, mentoring, and institutional capacity across Africa. In the same spirit, the publication of pharmacy jurisprudence in West Africa represents far more than scholarship. It is an attempt to preserve accumulated experience, institutional memory, and hard-earned insights as a foundation for nurturing and advancing a relatively new but critically important discipline within the region: pharmacy jurisprudence. Strong institutions are not built by buildings and curriculum alone. They are sustained by communities of memory, loyalty, mentorship, sacrifice, and continuing contribution. As I look across the audience today, both physically and virtually, I see many former students who are now professors, regulators, consultants, policymakers, entrepreneurs, and leaders in different parts of the world. Few things bring a teacher greater joy than seeing his students rise above him. But legacies become stronger when those who have benefited from a journey also help sustain the vision behind it. Rough roads become easier for future travelers when those who succeeded on them help prepare the path. And perhaps that is my quiet appeal today. Do not merely celebrate legacy. Help build them, help sustain the institutions, sustain the ideas, and mentoring structures that prepare future generations for leadership. Today, you have an opportunity to become part of that continuing story. The rough road was worth it. As I prepare to leave formal academic service, I do so not with regret, but with gratitude. Oh, the road was rough. Very, very rough. But looking back now, I see what I could not fully see then. The shaking had purpose. Without roughness, perhaps no sorting. Without the delay, perhaps no depth. Without the resistance, perhaps no strengthening. Human beings prefer straight lines, but God often walks through winding roads. If there is one lesson I particularly wish young academics and leaders to understand, it is this: do not measure destiny merely by chronology. Some lives ripen later, but deeper. And so permit me one final return to the metaphor that has framed this lecture. Big tomatoes rise to the top on rough roads. Smooth roads reveal little. Rough roads reveal substance. So, if your road is rough today, do not conclude too quickly that you are lost. You may simply be carrying a harvest the road is still preparing to reveal. Do not despise delay. It may be deepening your roots. Do not cause every shaking. It may be sorting your greatness. And when eventually you rise, remember the road, remember the people, remember providence. Because if some big tomatoes eventually rose to the top, it was because many roads and many people helped make that rising possible. Today, as I stand at this point of reflection, one truth echoes loudly in my heart. Many people contributed to making of this journey. No one travels rough roads successfully alone. I have mentioned some of my mentors in the course of this lecture. And for the record, I remain profoundly grateful to the likes of Professor Tayo, Professor Philip Oluriola, and then the late Professor Abayomi Shofara's memory forever. And then Professor Fred Eckel. I've mentioned my leader, Pastor Dr. Elijah Obino, also Samuel Nibere, and then Pastor Ezekiel Adeojo, if you're there, is my baptismal father. Ezekiel Adeojo, thank you, God bless you. Each in different ways helps steady the vehicle at critical moments of the journey. In the CPFN journey, especially during the early and difficult days, the support of the likes of Professor Cecilia Iguilo, I know you are there online. Dr. Mrs. Dere Awoshika, I know you are online. Very, 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 very dynamic sister. Very dynamic sister. Dr. Elijah Mohammed, Aikonyeshi, past president of CPFN. Mazi Samo Huabunwa, also a past president of CPFN. Ngozi Okoronkwo, also Igoroji, and many others proved invaluable. Their encouragement helped sustain a vision that has continued to grow beyond what we first imagined. Within the Hour of Inspiration platform, I must specially acknowledge my head of department, Dr. Dakbo Jegede, whose consistent service as moderator has greatly strengthened the program over the years. There are also individuals whose lives and leadership have inspired me, sometimes without even realizing it themselves. The lives of Professor Tape, the lives of Professor Tape, the lives of Professor Larry Bale, the lives of Martha Lutherot of Ghana, the lives of N.N. Wanang, the lives of Azuka Akpara, the lives of Shijo Keonya, the lives of Professor Funsha Wedele. These people are all here. Please, can we see them? Shijoke, are you there? Oh, God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then, of course, I've mentioned my GS. We've worked so closely in the last few years, and that he's a partner in traveling through rough roads. Please appreciate him again. Pastor Omawumi, and your dear wife sitting by your side always. Now, I want to begin to round up. The planning committee of this event consists of over 65 persons under the leadership of one person. If you are a member of the planning committee that put this together, please, any of the subcommittees, please be upstanding. We need to appreciate you. Please be upstanding. Any of the subcommittees. These are great men, oh, great women, fantastic people. Please clap for them, clap for them. I doff my hat for them. Thank you. Please be seated. Be seated. Thank you so much. And led by Dr. Wale Adeyemi as their leader. Thank you so much. They work tirelessly to bring this vision to reality. What you are witnessing today is a reflection of your dedication, your labor, and goodwill. I deeply appreciate my friends and associates. I thank the leadership of Obafemi University, sir. Leadership. For giving me the opportunity and privilege to serve over the years. I cannot forget Professor Tale Omole as Vice Chancellor. Because our daughter is a dentist today because he gave her admission to read dentistry. I thank my former students, colleagues, friends, and associates spread across different parts of the world. I cannot forget my late parents. I cannot forget them. You are too fast. Pa Erhun Yoyomi, I cannot forget him, my father. My mother, Wayo Ferifo Erhun, I cannot forget her. They sacrificed immensely to ensure that I received the best education within their means. Though they are no longer here, the impact of their sacrifices continues to speak. I also deeply appreciate my siblings, including my immediate elder sister that was also present during my inaugural lecture in 2012 and also present here today, Rebecca Omoni. Good. Happy Erhun, also my sibling, and then they are here today. My in-laws, I can't forget them. Morris Donadua, Mommy Beauty Order, please, are they here? Are they here? I mean, they've made life. The reason why you need to clap is that there are some people, when you call in-law, they say in-law now wish. My in-laws not be wish. And now to my immediate family, who walked these rough roads most closely with me, was hardly enough. My glow. They are doing reverse jar. That they are just showing, that is my Egwono, our firstborn, our pride, whose diligence and thoroughness contributed immensely to the successful completion of the book Pharmacy Jurisprudence in West Africa. May God richly bless her. My Agogus, whose administrative skill, particularly old man, Agogo, don't jump. Go back, yes. That's my Agogus, whose administrative skill during her service in WAPCP greatly strengthened my tenure as General Secretary. My great Joe, whose activities in WEFPA have been noteworthy. And then, of course, our baby, my glow. And then my wife. When I think of her, I thank God daily. She began her career in this university as a clerical officer. And through determination, diligence, sacrifice, and the grace of God, rose to become an academic staff member and eventually a professor of public law. If anyone had predicted years ago that our union would ultimately become a union of two professors, it would have sounded improbable. Yet, God writes stories differently. She distinguished her service as Vice Dean of the Faculty of Law and currently the head of the Department of Public Law, where she has transformed not only systems from the fiscal environment of the department, But beyond titles, beyond achievements, I treasure her most for standing solidly beside me during years of sacrifice, uncertainty, study, prayer, and faith along extremely rough roads. Mine, you continually remind me that God truly gave you to me. And that is why he has faithfully walked the journey with us. I sincerely, and I mean it, I love you. You can love your wife too. If rough roads help sow the big tomatoes, she often helps stabilize the vehicle carrying them. And finally, above all else, I stand here today because God has been faithful to me. Through delays, through uncertainties, through disappointments, through opportunities, through mentors, through friends, through family and grace, he has remained constant. For that, I return all the glory to God. We give you all the glory. I give you honor. I give you all the glory. I give you honor. One more time. I give you all the glory. I give you honor. Yes, Lord. I give you all the glory. I give you honor. Thank you for your attention. God bless you.
Very, very many happy returns.
Please, may I create your indulgence to just for 30 seconds, let's all rise and give Professor Erhun another round of applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Please, another round of applause for Professor Mrs. Mercy Erhun. Thank you. Thank you. Please, may you take your seat, please. Thank you very much. Yes, as organizing committee, when we are looking at trying to allocate time to Prof, you must take this time. We don't want anybody, as you are reading, to be feeling like going out and tired. But we concluded within ourselves that if it's Professor Erhun, there's no way anybody can sleep when he's talking. Is that not? Did you feel sleepy at all? No. Thank you very much once again. Thank you, sir. We just quickly move to, we are buying time as things goes on, but people have come from far, from near, and they have goodwill messages before we go to the book launch and then the web bar launch. Some of these goodwill messages have been sent in as video as we go on now. Definitely will not be able to take everyone, but I'm going to be mentioning that we will take CPFN, we'll take WAP, CP. So sorry, we already have them in the program with you. In the program with you, if you check, you see the goodwill messages from WAP, CP, from CPFM, that of GoFarmit also. We'll take, of course, the board of fellows. Please, I'm just being told that we have in our midst here the former Vice Chancellor of this university, Professor Ogumbodede. I've been looking around. Oh, okay, Prof, sir, we welcome you, sir. He's also a member of GoFarmit, so I'm not surprised that he has gone to sit with his with the church. Okay, Prof, sir. Prof, sir, there is a seat for you on the high table, sir. It's the Vice Chancellor that sent my dean, sir. Okay, my dean, when you get to the Vice Chancellor, say Prof says he wants to sit down there. Thank you, sir. Please, another round of applause for Prof. Thank you for coming. We also have present here Professor Adebayo of the Department of Economics. Prof yes, he has stood beside Professor Erhun all this year. We welcome you, sir. We recognize your presence. Then the Clinical Pharmacists Association of Nigeria, the president is hereby represented by Dr. Olulawa. You're welcome, ma. I think she was sitting. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. And then also we have the representative of the leader of ASUCLIP, that's African Society of Clinical Pharmacists, Dr. Ifoma Momad. Dr. Ifoma Momad. You are welcome, ma. Oh, you are welcome, ma. You're welcome, ma. So quickly we will just take, then the PSN chairman Osun State, Pharmacists of Money, is here also present. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. So some special people have sent goodwill messages to Prof, and they told Prof that they want them read, and we cannot miss out this one. That's the classmates of 1978, the graduating set of pharmacy 1978. Please put your hands together for this set. They have not only sent a written goodwill message, they have also sent financial goodwill message to the over 800,000 naira. Over 800,000 naira. I'm talking of people who have retired, who are just enjoying their grandchildren, so they could pull together over 800,000. Please, so I read it just very brief. On behalf of the 1978 set of Great Ife Pharmacy, we, your classmates, warmly congratulate you on the presentation of your valedictory lecture, which marks the end of your distinguished tenure in the university system and the beginning of your retirement. We are proud of your various achievements and pioneering roles within and outside the academia. You were, number one, the pioneer executive secretary of Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. Number two, initiator of the postgraduate program of pharmacy administration at Obafemi Awolowo University. Number three, initiator and founding president of the Christian Pharmacies Fellowship of Nigeria. Then pioneer dean, faculty of pharmacy, Niger Delta University, just to mention but a few. All these are by no means small achievements, and they are legacies for which you will forever be remembered. As you begin your retirement, we pray that God will keep you strong and healthy so you can remain impactful and relevant in the pharmacy profession and to mankind in general. We wish you a happy valedictory lecture presentation. Happy birthday in advance. I think it's now. Then a successful book launch of the Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration, and a happy retirement life. Please, a big round of applause also. Then also, quickly we just take a few of them that would need to present their own. So please help me welcome Dr. S.O. Adekola, representing the Chairman Board of Fellows, for his very brief goodwill message. Please, we are going to be managing 2 minutes as much as possible. A round of applause.
Thank you very much, MC, for the honor. Let me appreciate the university management and thank greatly my dean, Bishop, the celebrant of the day, and all my great lecturers in the Faculty of Pharmacy. I remain your boy. And my friends and colleagues, classmates, you see, while I was talking to the prof beside me, I feel so happening in Faculty of Pharmacy that a generation is going. We're just sending out big names, and that we just have few left. They turned to me and said, when I refuse to come back. So I'm sorry. For those of that we donated, please continue to do. Awoyoku, continue to do us proud. On behalf of the chairman of Board of Fellow, APS and PSN, pharmacist Ushia Pakama, we want to congratulate you on this wonderful day of yours. Professor Erhun has been, of course, one name in his own class in pharmacy. So anywhere we turn and the name is mentioned, of course, it comes with recognition. So the Board of Fellow of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria expresses its goodwill to you and wish you well. Of course, you're still much with us, and we're going to look up to you for a great work. I cannot but mention, like the Vice Chancellor mentioned, your impact on him. While I was here as a student, yes, I was class rep that was known by all virtually all lecturers and connected virtually everybody. But I knew I didn't connect with you because that was your rough road years. You were not settled. So we don't know where to connect with you. Perhaps maybe we'll have connected with you at Cognosy, but you were not there. So this time you are in a place that has not been formed. Well, that does not mean that I didn't connect with you at all. I recall while I was serving as national chairman of ACPN, the first publication I have today online, where my name will appear, came through you. You called me that in the year of COVID, that we have to work on community pharmacy preparedness for COVID vaccination and testing. And you designed something, and we ran it, and it became a publication. So, Professor Erhun, I thank you very much for keeping my name. Although I'm not an academia, but yet I have a publication. Thank you very much. Yes, I have two more. The second one was, at that time, you also told me, okay, then let me talk that one. The next one I want to mention is you have also had to be my prophet, because you reinforce what God had told me, even while you were not there. Late last year, you called me and asked me a question, which I'm not going to declare because it's too early to declare it. But I know God has spoken through you. And what God has said, it will surely what? Come to pass. I thank you very much for what you have said.
Please, a big round of applause for my friend and brother. The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria sent in their congratulatory message, and I quickly read a few lines. It said, on behalf of the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, PSN, Farm Ayuba Tanko Ibrahim, FPSN, and the entire members of NEC of PSN, we congratulate you as you mark your 70th birthday and retirement after 47 years of meritorious service to the academia. Your extraordinary personality, leadership, and mentorship have always been invaluable and a source of inspiration to many. Your service as Executive Secretary of PSN in 1991 to 1992 was exemplary and remarkable. We wish you more years in good health and prosperity. Accept our warmest regards. Yours faithfully, for Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, from Gafar Madei, FPSN, National Secretary. Please, a big round of applause. A big round of applause. There is also a big fish here, who is also representing a big fish. That's GIPA. GIPA, Chairman, sir, is a Great Ife Pharmacy Alumni Association. We have a global chair who just called in, just as we were starting, that something occurred in Lagos and they had to go back. So they have something to do. But we are not missing anything. The global vice chairman, our own Basma, Professor Olayiwola, is here. They have a goodwill message to present. Please, join me as we invite. So the person that will give the goodwill message in 3 weeks' time for Basman, that person should be getting prepared. Thank you, sir.
All protocols duly observed. I have relationship with everybody here. Professor Wanang, You are welcome. My VC rep and the pathfinder of my first daughter, I greet you. Please, I return all honor unto God for today because I am positioned to talk about this as the Global Vice Chairman of GIPA. GIPA is Great Ife Pharmacy Alumni Association. But we had a right turn when Professor Erhun was dean. We just sat down and said, this undefined method of asking for support should have a new direction. And that is exactly what we did. Well, he wouldn't mention everything, but he used me, but he did not dump me. We have been coming together. Incidentally, it was living when I was coming into the faculty. Not into the university. I came into the faculty in 1978. And that was the year I was living. And when it was ripe for him to take most people in our class as class project, as project students, I think you had only Roy Idam as a project student who was my classmate. I did pharmacology. I eat pharmacology. I did all my projects in pharmacology. But as it is common, when any of our gurus is exiting, GIPA has a way. But because we have put about 2 or 3 programs together, when it is time, you will see the GIPA color. And the GIPA color is very, very beautiful. It's more than rainbow. So, Professor Erhun, on behalf of the worldwide pharmacy graduates, including those who are here before you, and those that you have taught, those that you have mentored. Teaching is different from mentoring. I'm one of your mentees. Because we traveled the rough road together. And at times when it became very cloudy and muddy, I run to Wilson and say, look, my brother, where do we go? And he say, my friend, sit down. And we would talk over it. I'm grateful. You did the resignation and withdrew it severally. But because I have you, I didn't have to do any resignation. Yes, I will just run to him. We will talk heart to heart. Today, as is the first professor of pharmacy administration in the whole of Africa, I'm the first professor produced by my family. And back to GIPA business, let me invite you to join me in a delayed action. You know, in pharmacology, it can either be immediate or delayed. You know, let's suffer immediate reaction so that we come out in full when we are doing the book launch. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please help give my Oga Bassman another big round of applause. Quickly, before we call the Nigeria Academy of Pharmacy, may I just welcome Farm Dr. FC Oluwatimileyin on behalf of the National Chairman of WAPSP Nigeria chapter, please to come and give their own goodwill message. Okay, maybe I allow Madam to just wait a little. So we'll call the big fish, another big fish. Madam, you can relax, ma. We'll call. So please, the president of Nigerian Academy of Pharmacy, Professor Larry Bale, is unavoidably absent, but is well represented here. But retired but not tired, Mama of the Faculty of Pharmacy. That's Professor Mrs. Grace Osarugwe Onawumi. She'll be giving a good witness.
The chairman, distinguished guests on the high table, valedictorian, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Wilson Erhun's journey, and that has resulted in his valedictory lecture today, is not the end of a professional chapter. It is the celebration of a life of purpose, discipline, excellence, and enduring impact. It is a moment to honor a man whose career has become a testimony to what professionalism, integrity, dedication, and visionary leadership can achieve in academia, healthcare, and national development. This goodwill message from the Nigeria Academy of Pharmacy would have been presented by Professor Larry Bale, but unfortunately, he will not be able to join us today, and he has asked me to represent him. I know he would have loved to be here to present this himself. Throughout his distinguished journey, Professor Erhun has exemplified the highest ideals of scholarship and service. He has stood as a model of intellectual depth, academic rigor, and unwavering commitment to excellence. In an era where institutions desperately need credibility, ethical leadership, and transformational thinkers, he has consistently demonstrated what it means to lead with character, competence, and conviction. What distinguishes Professor Wilson Erhun is not only his impressive professional accomplishments, but also the remarkable values that have sustained his journey. He's highly professional in conduct, inspiring in leadership, productive in contribution, dedicated in service, honest in character, and hardworking in every assignment entrusted to him. These qualities have earned him the admiration of colleagues, students, professional associates, and generations of leaders who have had the privilege of learning from his wisdom and benefiting from his mentorship. Across the years, he has invested his energy in building minds, strengthening institutions, advancing professional standards, and contributing meaningfully to the development of pharmacy education and healthcare systems. His influence extends far beyond classrooms and lecture theaters. It lives in the lives he has shaped, the professionals he has mentored, the systems he has strengthened, and the enduring culture of excellence he has helped to establish. As he delivers his valedictory lecture today, we do not see it as a retirement from relevance, but rather as the transition of a statesman scholar into an even broader sphere of influence. Men of wisdom, integrity, and experience like Professor Erhun never truly retire. Their voices continue to guide institutions, inspire younger generations, and shape the future long after formal responsibilities have ended. Congratulations, Professor Wilson Erhun. Your legacy will continue to inspire generations. Signed by Fam Leke Asuni, the Secretary General, and Professor Lere Bale, the President and Chairman of the Governing Council, Nigeria Academy of Pharmacy. Thank you.
Another big round of applause, please. Thank you, thank you. We need to, because the chairman has some other pressing engagement now, we just take one more goodwill message, then we go to the book launch immediately, because the chairman wants to be part of the book launch before he takes his leave. So please join me as I welcome Dr. Ifoma Muma from ASOCLI, that's African Society of Clinical Pharmacists. Please, she will be coming to give a brief goodwill message. Please, let's clap for her as she comes, and then we go to the book launch.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, the high table. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I'm here as a messenger to represent the president, ASOCLIP. Sir, on behalf of the president of African Society of Clinical Pharmacists, Dr. Joseph Madu, I, my former, I stand before you with immense pride and profound respect to celebrate you as one of our finest scholars in Africa, the first professor of pharmacy administration in West Africa, Professor Wilson Erhun. And you are also a member of the Advisory Board of African Society of Clinical Pharmacists. Yes, as we gathered here today, to recognize and celebrate an academic giant, a visionary leader, and a true trailblazer. Permit me to say that attaining this rank of the very first professor of pharmacy administration in West Africa is not just a personal victory. It is a historic milestone for our entire profession. For decades, pharmacy profession was a growing field looking for a definitive voice. And Prof, you did not just study pharmacy systems, you built them. You taught us how to manage them. Through your research, leadership, collaborative efforts, and teaching, you have elevated the standards of pharmacy practice across Africa. You taught us that clinical excellence must be matched by administrative competence to truly transform patient care. To us in ASOCLIP, the African Society of Clinical Pharmacists, you have been a pillar of support, a mentor to our members, and a guiding light for our clinical initiatives. Your mentorship provides the administrative frameworks that allow clinical pharmacists to deploy their skills effectively within healthcare systems. Sir, as you have delivered your valedictory lecture and you are about to execute your book launch on pharmacy jurisprudence, and also unveil your foundation, I want you to know that your legacy is securely etched in the annals of African pharmacy history. ASOCLIP commits to carrying the torch you have lit. We will continue to advocate for excellence, data-driven administration, and robust clinical practices. We at ASOCLIP, we wish you very robust health, deep fulfillment, and continuous joy in this very next chapter of your remarkable journey. Thank you, sir, and congratulations from all of us from African Society of Clinical Pharmacists. Then for me, I want to say that I love you and I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So we quickly go forward now to take the book launch. And before the unveiling of the book and the launching proper, we want to invite the reviewer of the book, a professor himself, a former Secretary General of West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, and also presently the Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Education, Pakistan. Please join me as we welcome Professor Noel Wana, the book reviewer, to review the book.
Thank you, the Director of Ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, the Chairman of the occasion. Of course, some people occupy positions. Some people occupy destiny. Professor Erhun is one that occupies destiny. He doesn't just teach, he inspires. A bachelor's degree holder in pharmacy, master's degree holder in pharmaceutical chemistry, a PhD holder in pharmacognosy, an adjunct in pharmaceutics, and ended a professor of pharmacy management in Africa. Today, on retirement, he is now a professor of law, writing on jurisprudence. This goes to say, truly and genuinely too, Professor Erhun, my own mentor, is truly an all-rounder. Distinguished guests, respected members of the academia, esteemed colleagues in the pharmaceutical and legal professions, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon to you all. I stand here today as someone with honor and privilege to stand before distinguished gatherings as a reviewer of this intellectually profound and timely book, Pharmacy Jurisprudence in West Africa by Wilson O. Erhun. Today's event is more than just unveiling a book. It is unveiling ideas, unveiling questions, unveiling reflections, and indeed a conversation that sits at the very heart of medicines, law, governance, ethics, and public health in Africa. What makes this exceptional is that it does not just merely present laws and regulations. I have gone through the entire work. Rather, this book asks difficult and thought-provoking questions. Questions that compel pharmacists, lawyers, regulators, policymakers, and scholars, and the society at large to rethink the meaning of professional responsibility and justice in healthcare. Professor Erhun has brilliantly structured the book in 24 chapters with 24 major questions, each corresponding to a chapter and each addressing very vital dimensions of pharmacy jurisprudence. What the MC did not say is that I am also a lawyer. Being a lawyer, I've gone through the work. The first thing I saw was that chapter 1 raised a very profound question. Are medicines only scientific products or instruments of justice? Here, this book establishes that pharmacy is not just merely about drugs, but also about rights, protection, governance, and public trust.
The chapter 2 raises another critical concern. Can regulation protect patients without suffering professional autonomy? Professor Erhun here again reminds us that the best regulation does not weaken professions. It rather gives them legitimacy. Then came chapter 3. And here we are confronted with the constitutional foundations of pharmacy regulation, revealing that beneath licensing and professional discipline lie constitutional principles of due process, authority, and public protection. The subsequent chapters skillfully guide readers through regulatory institutions, administrative law, professional registration, pharmaceutical premises licensing, and the evolving boundaries of pharmacy practice. One particularly remarkable feature of this book is how it transforms what many perceive as technical legal concepts into living governance questions. For example, who should be trusted in pharmacy practice? Who should own medicines outlets? When does misconduct become a legal problem? When does a pharmacist become legally liable? These are not abstract academic issues. They are practical realities affecting patient safety, professional integrity, and societal trust. The chapters on community pharmacy, hospital practice, industrial pharmacy, and pharmaceutical distribution further deepen the discussion by showing how law interacts daily with healthcare delivery systems. I was particularly fascinated by the chapters addressing medicines promotion, access to medicines, pandemics, emergency powers, and inspection systems. These chapters are especially relevant in our contemporary world, where healthcare carries continuously test and balance between public trust, public safety, human rights, and government authority. Professor Erhun in this book categorically asked the following questions. Is access to medicine a legal right or merely a policy aspiration? How much power should governments have during health emergencies? Who regulates the regulators themselves? These are governance questions of immense significance, not only for pharmacy, but for democratic accountability and public administration across Africa. Equally commendable are the discussions on traditional medicines, regional harmonization with ECOWAS, comparative jurisprudence, and the future of pharmacy law in Africa. Interestingly, the final chapter of this particular book looks boldly into emerging frontiers such as digital health, regional integration, and evolving professional rules, reminding us that the future of medicine's governance will belong to those courageous enough to rethink existing systems. Ladies and gentlemen, this book succeeds because it combines scholarship with relevance, legal analysis with public realities, and academic depth with practical insight. It is comprehensive, intellectually engaging, and deeply contextual in West Africa. It will undoubtedly serve as a reference text for students, a guide for practitioners, a resource for regulators, a companion for legal scholars, and indeed an intellectual contribution to health governance in Africa. I must sincerely commend Professor Erhun for the enormous research, discipline, courage, and intellectual labor invested in producing this masterpiece. Writing a book like this is not merely an academic exercise. It is a service to humanity, which you have demonstrated in your valedictory lecture today, and it is a contribution again to institutional development. And to everyone gathered here today, I encourage you not only to celebrate this book, but read it, engage it, debate it, and allow these questions to shape our professional and regulatory future. This book, as it is launched today, may it travel across universities, courtrooms, pharmacies, hospitals, ministries, and regulatory institutions throughout West Africa and beyond. May it stimulate reforms. May it inspire ethical practice. May it deepen justice in healthcare governance. And may it contribute meaningfully to the advancement of pharmacy practice in Africa. On behalf of all present, I warmly congratulate the author and to everybody who contributed to this remarkable achievement. I thank you so much for listening. May God bless all of you, and I wish you a successful book launch on probably again the first book on pharmacy jurisprudence in West Africa by Professor Wilson Erhun. Congratulations, sir.
Please, another round of applause for Professor Wanan. Thank you, sir. So, for the unveiling of the book now, we'll be inviting all the members of the high table who will quickly come here, join us, led by the chairman, the vice chancellor, for the unveiling of the book before we now proceed to the launching of the book. So please, members of the high table, sir, the vice chancellor, sir, the celebrant, the dean, Professor Tape, my boss at WAPCP, please don't withdraw your fellowship that I earned by examination. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. My Vice Chancellor, sir, I was here some time back and you gave me a wonderful welcome.
Thank you very much.
That was the day you made me an alumnus of this university. Great Ife. You have just gotten a new convert. Vice Chancellor, sir, with your kind permission, we now move to the unveiling section so that we can unveil this significant book in pharmacy journey in West Africa. You can hold this edge. Professor Erhun, sir, and Madam, VC, you can come this way. We have two prominent persons. It's not easy to bring two vice chancellors. Oh, I forgot myself, three vice chancellors to unveil pharmacy jurisprudence in West Africa. With your kind permission, I hand over to the chairman of the occasion to do this great unveiling. Sorry, please just give us a minute. We're waiting for our pastor.
Professor Adebayo, please join us too. So we want to unveil this wonderful book, Pharmacy Jurisprudence in West Africa. Anglophone and Francophone countries, authored by no other person than the erudite scholar we come to celebrate today, also to mark his birthday with this. So I want to unveil this in the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit for the use of training in pharmacy and also to promote humanity. Congratulations, sir. So, Prof, please, let's unveil this.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Pharmacy jurisprudence in West Africa, Anglophone and Francophone countries, authored by no other person than the first professor of pharmacy administration in West Africa and a leading authority in pharmacy regulation, governance, and pharmacy jurisprudence. A one-time dean of this great university, Obafemolo University, and also the foundation dean of Niger Delta University, and who currently chairs the Joint Faculty Board of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, and previously served as its Secretary General. He has more than 5 decades, indeed 47 years of service to humanity, particularly here at OAU Ife. He has contributed significantly in pharmacy education. Some of us are beneficiaries, I'm one, for curriculum development, healthcare policy, professional training, and institutional leadership across Africa. And he's the founder of the Wilson Erhun Foundation of Pharmacy Administration. He has mentored several persons. The present president of Liberian chapter, incidentally also the president of the West African Postgraduate College, dressed in that attire, a professor of pharmacy, is also one of his mentees. Academics and researchers, while serving on several academic and regulatory authorities nationally and internationally, his work has played a key role in advancing ethical practice, regulatory systems, and has legally informed pharmacy governance across West Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind permission, be on your feet for a rousing applause as we have finished unveiling this. Congratulations, Professor Erhun. Cameraman. Thank you, thank you. As we raise the books, in celebration of a great mentor, in celebration of an achiever, and to God be the glory, as he has successfully served humanity for 70 years and is stepping into the next level of absolute sacrifice to humanity. To God be the glory. Thank you so much. God bless you all. God bless you all. MC.
Thank you. Please, a great round of applause now. So we'll pass the microphone round the members of the high table. So they have launched with the mouth. They will launch with microphone now. And when you are launching with microphone, I mean, what to say is already known. So, yes. Okay. So let's start from the...
Okay. Members of the high table, our chairman will soon be leaving, you said so. So probably we'll begin with you. And remember, the copies that we gave are actually the hard copies. So we need the cash hard.
They are saying that it's better we allow the chief launcher to launch first. Then we now get to first. Then the co-launcher, Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause as members of the high table proceed to the high table. But you can be very sure they will launch. And the gatemen have been told not to open the door until they launch. And they have said that integrity is at stake, so they will do launching. So please, let's put our hands together for them as they go to their seat. You will launch on your seat, sir. You will launch on your seat. Thank you, sir. So it's a great honor to invite our chief launcher today, who is also one of the mentees of Professor Erhun, who graduated from this place about 3 decades ago today, who also counts it as a honor to be invited as the chief launcher. Incidentally, he happens to be one of the organizing committee members. And so proudly today, let me welcome online, is all the way presently now in US. So I want to welcome Pharmacist Pastor Deji Oladapo, who is the chief launcher of today. Please, a round of applause. We'll be linking up to him now as he presents. Yes, that's him there. Pastor Deji, you are not giving us the impression that you are in US. So don't let people think you are at Ibadan. No, you are in US. Don't mind his cap. Please, over to you, chief launcher, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adeyemi. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for putting this together to honor Professor Erhun. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, members of the academic and professional community, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today we gathered not merely to unveil a book, but to mark a milestone. Another milestone, because the person in question has had a lot of milestones in his life. So a first of its kind, a bold intellectual achievement, a contribution that will echo across classrooms, courtrooms, pharmacies, and policy tables throughout West Africa and beyond. On this groundbreaking work on pharmacy jurisprudence, a work in West Africa arrives at a defining moment in our region's healthcare evolution. For years, practitioners and students alike have navigated a landscape where pharmaceutical practice has advanced faster than the legal framework guiding it. The result has been gaps in compliance, gaps in understanding, and sometimes gaps in justice. But today, with the launch of this book, I believe that those gaps begin to close. Let's put our hands together for Professor Erhun for engaging in that great work. So this is more than a test. It is a compass, a reference point, a bridge between science and law, between ethics and enforcement, between what is practiced and what is required. It empowers pharmacists to not only dispense medicine, but to dispense responsibility with clarity and confidence. It equips regulators with a unified language. It gives students a foundation that generations before them never had. And for West Africa, a region that is rising in innovation, expanding in healthcare delivery, and strengthening its professional standards, this book is both timely and transformative. To the author, Professor Wilson Erhun, your dedication, your leadership, your mentorship, your scholarship, and your courage to pioneer in a field many have avoided cannot be overstated, and for this, we are deeply grateful. You've given us a resource that will shape policy, guide practice, and elevate the profession for decades to come. To the individuals, institutions, and partners represented here today, may this launch ignite new conversations, new curricula, new collaborations. Let this book not sit on shelves, but sit in boardrooms, hospitals, community pharmacy practices, industries, lecture halls, and decision-making spaces. And to every pharmacist, student, regulator, and stakeholder listening, this is your moment. This is your tool. This is your opportunity to build a future where pharmacy practice in West Africa is not only excellent, but legally sound, ethically grounded, and globally aligned. It is therefore my honor, my profound privilege to officially launch this historic publication with a seed money in the amount of 1.5 million naira. May this book inspire, may it educate, and may it transform. And I gracefully ask that you please join hands with me as men and women of honor to support this noble cause so we can get this iconic text into all spaces where the need for a new beginning is calling. Remember, this is not about equal giving. It is about equal sacrifices. And like I said, it is a seed, and I expect the multiplication or the fruit of the seed to be much greater than the seed itself. Once again, congratulations, Professor Erhun. And on behalf of everyone, every organization, every society, you have faithfully served and added immeasurable value over the course of these 47 years of your service, whose life, legacy, and career path you have helped shape. We say thank you for your priceless contribution, impact, leadership, and mentorship, even as we wish you the very best in your retirement and on your 70th birthday, as if you even go ahead to pursue greater heights with the Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration. Let me leave you with this quote from Maya Angelou, Prof. A bird does not sing because it has all the answers. A bird sings because it has a song. We want to recommend and want to suggest to you, Prof, keep singing as you continue to leave your footprints on the sand of destiny. Thank you, and God bless.
Please, a big round of applause. A big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
So, the only thing the chief launcher forgot to mention was that he has put a lower limit. He has set a lower limit, and that lower limit is what you saw there, 1.5 million naira. Why are you... just that's the lower limit, and so the room to go to the upper limit, we are still working on it. We will announce that now. So from 1.5, 2 million, 2.5, that goes on. And before that is done, before Prof, the celebrant himself comes here to begin to autograph for other launchers, please let us welcome the chairman of this occasion, the vice chancellor, to do his own launching. And the chairman has said that he was asking which denomination and which note, which currency. So, and I said that dollar will be acceptable. Will be acceptable. In fact, yeah, it can even move to pound sterling. Which one do you want?
The MC is my very good friend, and he has talked to me that he will help me. I've come to represent my boss, and I don't want to disrespect him. I don't know if he's going to be spending Maltese lira or the British pound sterling, or I don't know which currency he will want to do. So the VC will get across. But I'm sure that he will buy some copies. But in personal recognition of the influence of Professor Erhun in my own life as a person, I will take 4 copies and I will give you some little widow's naira that I have. Thank you so much. God bless.
Please, a big round of applause for the Deputy Vice Chancellor. Like I told you, there's something pressing and urgent. He has to leave now. Please, let's keep applauding him as he... Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The DVC whispered to me and that I should please, we entered into a covenant that I should not mention the amount of dollars. So you can be very sure. And for security reasons, it's not mentioning it. It's in Naira. It's in Naira. But if you want to know the amount of dollars, you can see me after. Please, another round of applause for Adin. And then we'll be also welcoming our co-chief launcher. That's pharmacist Chris Erhun. Please, who is the representative of Farm Chris? Please, now that the VC has gone out, please lock the door. Nobody is going out until we finish the launching. Until we finish the launching. Security men, please take charge. The pharmacist Chris Erhun is being represented by ACPN chairman Lagos State, that's Farm Tolu Ajayi. But the last time we spoke on phone, they are still on the way. So since there are other co-launchers, we'll be calling others. We do not want to miss him out. And again, all the way from MedPlus Pharmacy, Lagos, we have our own Mrs. Joke Bakare, the MD CEO of MedPlus, who is ably represented here. So please, a big round of applause. A big round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is pharmacist Time Ntiaidem. I'm representing pharmacist Mrs. Joke Bakare, who is also an alumni of this institution. She sends her deep apologies for not being able to attend this event, and she sends her congratulations to Professor Erhun. She's supporting this launch with ₦1 million. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How many copies, sir? Sorry. The next co-launcher, that's Farm Chris Erhun, actually wants to speak now, but because time is fast spent, we can't afford to wait. I think we'll just be calling as they are here. And please, we have in our midst another of our co-launchers. That's the man of God, who is ably backed by God with cash in dollars and in naira. This one, most cannot eat it because it's of God. Please help me welcome Bishop, the one who gave us the opening prayer to usher in the presence here. Pharmacist Bishop One. Please, a round of applause. I must mention that this man of God is supposed to have gone back to US, but purposely waited for this program, and so his flight will be very soon, but he has waited for this. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, congratulations to Prof, to everyone that is here to witness today. I've launched it before and gave a donation through the planning committee. But by the grace of God, I'll be supporting again with $500.
Thank you very much. Okay. The co-launcher, Chris Ehime, they are online. They want to make their book launch online. Charles Akinshete, right? Okay, will be the one to speak to us. He is a fellow of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. He's the one to announce the launch now. Okay, they are online. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I hope you can hear me clearly.
We can hear you, sir.
Thank you very much. This speech is on behalf of pharmacist Dr. Chris Ehime, PSNF NAPAM, one of the co-launchers. We are actually at Gongon, so we are coming. Congratulations to Prof. This is his speech, and I'm going to be very fast. My very distinguished professors, scholars, guests, colleagues, students, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to be a co-launcher of this very outstanding book, Pharmacy Jurisprudence in West Africa, authored by our highly respected and revered Professor Winston O. Erhun. My sincere apologies for not being physically present to witness this momentous occasion. Professor Erhun is a distinguished academic, administrator, and thought leader whose contributions to pharmacy education, pharmacy administration, and professional practice in Nigeria and West Africa have remained invaluable over several decades. Between 1984 and 1987, Professor Erhun taught us pharmacognosy, but thereafter he transitioned into pharmacy administration to become Professor of Pharmacy Administration in West Africa. This is quite remarkable, and it also shows his versatility. Today's launch of Pharmacy Jurisprudence in West Africa is more than the unveiling of another academic text. It is the celebration of a body of work that speaks to some of the most critical pillars of pharmacy profession and practice: jurisprudence, ethics, regulation, and the legal framework guiding pharmacy practice in West Africa. At a time when healthcare systems are changing rapidly and professional accountability has become more important than ever, this book arrives at a timely and necessary resource. It will no doubt serve as an essential guide for pharmacy students, educators, regulators, practitioners, and policymakers across the region. What makes this work particularly significant is its West African context. It reflects our realities, our regulatory environment, our challenges, and our aspirations as healthcare professionals, committed to safe, ethical, and patient-centered pharmaceutical care. As pharmacists, we are not only custodians of medicines, we are also custodians of trust. And jurisprudence tells us that beyond knowledge and competence, our profession is anchored on trust, responsibility, integrity, and accountability. Professor Erhun deserves a very loud commendation for his dedication to advancing pharmacy education and strengthening professional standards within our region. His currently used to inspire generations of pharmacists and academics. I congratulate Professor Erhun on this outstanding achievement and commend all contributors, reviewers, publishers, and supporters who made this important work possible. I have no doubt that the book will become a foundational reference text across faculties of pharmacy and professional institutions within West Africa and beyond. Also, as he retires from the university at 70, I wish him well. May God continue to shine his light upon him and bless him with good health. May God continue to be with him and his family. Congratulations once again, sir. And this donation is coming with a party sum of 500,000 naira.
And also to congratulate him on this epoch-making occasion. I want to thank you for being a role model, for being a mentor to many, of which I'm also one of them. And also for etching your name in the sands of time with this book that we believe is going to touch the landscape of pharmacy practice in West Africa and beyond. Without wasting much time, on behalf of my organization, I want to invite the PANS, I don't know whether the PANS president is here, the president of Pharmaceutical Association of Nigeria Students. Is he here? Beautiful. So I will give one on behalf of the PANS and the PANS sites. Okay? So I will plead that part of my launching, I don't know how many that I'm going to be entitled to, but PANS should at least get 2 copies. Okay? And on that note, on behalf of Pinecrest Healthcare Limited, we will be launching this book with the sum of 500,000 naira. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 500,000 naira, and PANS gets a share of it. Great, PANS site. Are you grateful? One poster for the launcher. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The Great Ife Pharmacy Alumni Association has requested I will sign specially 5 copies for them. 5 copies signed, autographed by the author. They will make their announcement later. Now we shift to those at the head table. They were standing here. We just wanted them to sit and relax and then come for their book launch. Maybe I will follow the sitting order.
Bless the day you were born, cause baby when you show things for my life just start to dey glow. And so I sing this for you.
All right. From the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, the president, Professor Hasifa Tape, will announce the launch on behalf of the entire college, which covers Professor Awodele and the entire West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists. Prof, please.
Thank you. Greetings, and this is an opportunity again to speak on behalf of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists and in my capacity as president of the college. Indeed, we are very happy to be a part of the launch, and so the college will take responsibility of 3 copies even now, and as a support, a long-term support to this book will ensure that all member states, our different chapters, as I speak to you, initially we have 5 chapters, but now we have over 10 chapters of our college. All member states will make sure to buy copies according to their number, and all of our students that are in the college will be encouraged to promote the sale of this book by buying a copy each. We know that this book cuts across all sectors, and we think that it's an opportunity for us to use this book as one of the key things that we can promote to our students by lecture. And so we find it very important to make sure that we have copies across our chapters, and all our students will make sure to have copies. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. And now, the book reviewer himself, Vice Chancellor and former SG, we will invite now Professor Noe Warang to come and launch the book. A round of applause for Professor Warang.
Thank you. I actually didn't know I'll be called again to launch, because the president of WPCP said for all members of WPCP, which I'm one, Well, I thank you very much for this opportunity. You know, I came all the way from the north, northern Nigeria, Plateau State to be specific. And there we use both Naira and Sefa. So if I should say I give 100, whether it is Sefa, 1 million, whether it is Sefa, we wouldn't know yet. So thank you so much. It is actually an opportunity for me to be on board, an opportunity also to be part of this great launch. I'm going to definitely pick a copy of the book, and I will whisper to you, because in the north they say kidnap. Not that I will give and then you hear that on my way back they kidnap me, they will think I have big money. Should I disclose? Should I disclose? Okay, I will not disclose. But I will buy a copy. I'll just give my friend, my own child, a copy with 100,000. But mine, I will not disclose.
Thank you very much. The one for his child is disclosed, but his own personal one, he will whisper to us. Thank you, Professor Wanang. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And now, all other members of the head table, I can see the Professor Lere Bale represented here. Would you like to make your donation now? Okay, ma. Okay, later. I'm Professor Cyril Lucifo. Okay. All right. Professor Dedero. Okay. Whenever they are ready, we are here. The Dean, Faculty of Pharmacy, Obafemi Awolowo University, Professor Bishop. He is here to launch.
Well, on behalf of the faculty management, 6 head of departments, and the director of drug research and production unit, and the vice dean of the faculty, will communicate our decision to the organizer. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, all our departments in the faculty are covered, plus DRPU, all are covered. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't know whether the Board of Fellows of PSN would like to announce a launch. From PSN National, they support our parent body across the country. Professor Akomu is here to launch this book on behalf of PSN National. Professor Akomu, please.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, oh, I gotta sing on to you every day, every day, every day.
Well, protocol is fully observed. The chairman in absentia. On behalf of the PSN president, a special greetings, even though they've read the letter written by the National Secretary on behalf of PSN National. I, as a member of NEC of PSN, Professor Emi Akomu, is launching 6 copies on behalf of PSN National, 200,000. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As you can see, an account is already being projected. You can pay into that account. Also, a QR code will also be there for in case you are among the launchers that will do later. You can scan the QR code to pay that. Both of them will be on. But if you pay right now, you pay into that account, we'll confirm right away. Please, I want to break protocols, and I'm welcoming the head of department. Department of Public Law, Faculty of Law of Obafemi Awolowo University, who is the current landlady of the celebrants. So please join me as we welcome Professor Mrs. Mercy Erhun as she come to do her own launching. Is that how you are welcoming her? Don't ask for those who planned the coup, but this coup is already successfully planned and executed. You are welcome, ma.
Thank you very much.
Prof's accounts.
Thank you very much. I'm standing here as the head of Department of Public Law. If you look at the title of the book, it says Pharmacy Jurisprudence, talking about pharmacy laws. The title, it falls strictly under the Department of Public Law. It takes laws to regulate the bodies that practice pharmacy. So, in the light of that, I want to launch, on behalf of my department, the book with a sum of 250,000 naira.
Wow, thank you very much. Department of Public Law, 250,000 naira. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We invite the representative of CPAN, while the representative of ASOCLIP gets ready. CPAN, if you're ready, we invite you to come and launch this beautiful book. Okay. Or ASOCLIP, if ASOCLIP is ready, please, you can walk up to the microphone and launch the book. Okay, CPAN is here. That looks like a brown envelope.
On behalf of the Clinical Pharmacists Association of Nigeria, CPAN, we launched the pharmacy jurisprudence in West Africa, but I don't know if I can announce the amount. Well, more is still coming, but from here, I have a catch of 50,000 naira. At least I'm the only one giving cash.
This is the only person giving us cash, and we still like cash in Nigeria. Thank you very much, CPAN. Now, ASOCLIP.
Okay. Please, as ASOCLIP president comes, please, we just want to announce that, please, we can just come forward as individuals if you want to launch. You are not, I will also read out the list of our other launchers in that order. It's just that many of them are online, and that will take our time to be calling them. But we'll read out their names, and they'll be reaching out to us. That's Farm Omotayo Amzat, Farm Sheyi Adeyemo, Farm Mrs. Modupe Akinola, Farm Babatunde Oyewumi, Farm Araba Benjamin, Farm Mrs. Nike Akindolire, Farm Kayode Ola, Farm Mrs. Bumi Owojuyigbe, Farm Sunday Obidia, Farm Tulope Ajayi, Farm Charles Akinshete, Farm Isaac Olufumini, Farm Alamun Josiah, Farm Dr. Raji, Farm Barrister James Famakin, Farm Toyin Foloronshaw, Farm Shiji Olamiju. Thank you very much.
So on behalf of myself, I launch with 20,000, and I'll let the person that sent me know. Probably something more will come. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that individual and the group launch. ASOCLIP, thank you very much. Like has been mentioned, I don't know whether the PSM Foundation, Board of Fellows, whether they have anything for us. The Board of Fellows, individuals here, and our professors here, if anyone is ready to launch, kindly indicate, because we are still going to, okay, please. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of Evangelist Mrs. Rebecca Omoni, we are launching the book with sum of 100,000 naira.
100,000. God bless you, ma. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If anybody has, if you want to stand up and launch, please indicate, because we will soon round up this session. We still have the Wilson Erhun Foundation to unveil. We still have to launch the foundation. Let's make this session. Okay. Please, you're welcome, ma. Pharmacist Mrs. Dr. Oluwatimileyin. She has a goodwill message. We will take the goodwill message and then we'll take the lunch all together. Sorry for the delay, ma.
Just a moment, please. When you are launching, I think we need to let the cat out of the bag. The cost price of this book is not less than 30,000 naira. I'm telling you, terms of production, and so if we are going to speak, it's not less than 30,000 naira. So just note that as you are doing your launching. Thank you very much.
I stand here on behalf of the chairperson for the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists Nigerian chapter. I'll quickly read my goodwill message. Professor Wilson Erhun, sir, congratulatory message on your valedictory lecture, book launch, and public presentation of the Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration. On behalf of the Executive Committee and members of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists Nigerian chapter, I extend warm congratulations and best wishes to you on the auspicious occasion of your valedictory lecture, the book launch, and the public presentation of the Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration. The occasion marks a remarkable milestone and a fitting celebration of your distinguished career, unwavering dedication, and immense contributions to pharmacy education, administration, research, leadership, and the advancements of the pharmacy profession. Your years of committed service have impacted countless students, professionals, and institutions, while your scholarship and leadership continue to inspire excellence across generations. The valedictory lecture is not only a celebration of a successful academic journey, but also a testimony of your life devoted to knowledge, mentorship, and service to humanity. The launch of your book further demonstrates your enduring commitment to intellectual development and the dissemination of knowledge that will continue to enrich the profession and guide future practitioners and scholars. Equally commendable is the establishment and public presentation of the Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration. This visionary initiative reflects your passion and strengthening pharmacy administration and developing future leaders within the profession. We are confident that the foundation will serve as a lasting legacy and a platform for innovation, scholarship, mentorship, and awareness of pharmacy practice and administration. As you celebrate these significant achievements, we join your family, colleagues, students, friends, and professional associates in expressing profound appreciation for your invaluable contributions and wishing you continued good health, fulfillment, and many more impactful years of service. Please accept our heartfelt congratulations and best wishes as we celebrate this accomplishment. And it is signed by Dr. Afusat Adeshino, a fellow of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, a fellow of the PSN. On behalf of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists, as directed by my chairman, we launched the book with 100,000 naira.
Thank you, ma. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to announce a lunch by Dr. Amako Kafo, the chairman of the Faculty of Social and Administrative Pharmacy of WAPCP. She has launched by a direct transfer of 50,000 naira. God bless you, ma. God bless you, ma. Now, the book launch will be ongoing. The account number will be streamed again so that you can copy it. Or if you want to write it down somewhere, it is OP 8033 OP 8033 748 779. Okay? The launch will be ongoing because there's another event in this hall. There's an inaugural lecture in this hall in a few hours' time, and we need to round up. We need to round up. The next, okay, thank you very much. You're welcome, Matu, for your lunch. You announce your name, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Honorede Oda, and on behalf of the family of Oda, which is my daddy, is my adopted dad, the in-law that he so much spoke about, Mrs. Oda and her family, will launch with the sum of 100,000 naira. Thank you.
Thank you, 100,000 naira. Thank you. The launch continues, like I said. The launch continues, like I said, but we have to move quickly. We have to move quickly. If you have, if you want to launch now, please indicate, because we want to move to the next item on the agenda so we can. Okay, while the launch continues, you can meet us. You can come backstage and meet us and make your transfers or get the account number. It will be documented, it will be announced. But for now, we are moving to the unveiling and the launching of the Wilson Erhun Foundation. Let me hand over to Dr. Adeyemi.
Thank you very much. So it's an honor to welcome two erudite professors and those who have been closely associated with Professor Erhun for the launch of this foundation. So please, join me as we welcome Professor Osifo, all the way from University of Benin. And then, please also join me as we welcome Professor Fakeye Ma. Please join. These are the brain behind this foundation, and they will be able to, okay, thank you.
Let me not try to stand on the existing protocol so that it won't collapse. I will just lean on it. And the professor, I'm Professor Titilayo Fakeye. Together we want to unveil the Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration. Oh, they are still launching. It's good to launch. Okay. Redeeming time, it talks about advancing pharmacy administration, strengthening healthcare systems, and transforming Africa, not just Nigeria or West Africa, through leadership, research, innovation, policy, education, collaboration, and impact.
So today we are going to tell you who we are as WEFPA. That's the Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration. And these are some of the things that we do. What is WEFPA? Is innovation. We talk about public health, global partnerships, all the things that you see here, and much more is what WEFPA is about. Professional excellence. So the key challenges in healthcare delivery that has brought WEFPA up include weak governance structures, inefficient medicine supply chains,
limited data-driven decision-making, and continued threat of counterfeit and substandard medicines. So our vision is to be the leading hub of excellence in pharmacy administration, education, research and practice in West Africa, driving innovation, collaboration, and sustainable health outcomes. And the mission is to advance pharmacy administration by equipping students, professionals, and institutions with knowledge, leadership skills, and research capacity. Through advocacy, partnerships, and community engagement, we strengthen health systems and promote responsible medicine use for the benefit of the society. Our strategic pillars, we have 5 strategic pillars, and they are listed here: leadership and professional development, research, innovation and knowledge management, collaboration and interprofessional practice, advocacy, community engagement and public health, and the last but not the least, institutional strengthening and strategic partnerships. So these are some of our flagship programs. We have the capacity building workshop series in pharmacy leadership and administration. I'll just mention a few. We have the WEFPAC Community Empowerment and Health Access Project. We have academic research presentation support scheme. Then we have a journal, African Journal of Social and Administrative Pharmacy, with the plan to have institutional collaboration programs. So this is our roadmap for 2026 to 2028. The first two quarters, we've had a project on drug abuse and involving clergy of the Christian faith. The Muslim faith will come up, we hope, later in the year. We have public awareness campaigns and all that. For the third and fourth quarter, our plan is to commence flagship programs: Pharma Ignite, research grants, leadership workshop, and then strategic partnerships with universities and health institutions. In 2027, the plan is to expand to Francophone and Lusophone countries in West Africa, the launching of the journal that I spoke about, and regional health policy dialogues. 2028, we hope to consolidate and evaluate all our programs, then have an end of cycle performance audit while we plan strategically for the next 4 years, 2029 to 2033. So our appreciation, these are our donors. We want to appreciate our founder, Professor Wilson O. Erhun, who is the founder and chairman, Board of Trustees with WEFPA. We appreciate our Board of Trustees, members of the advisory board, our esteemed partners, our collaborators, our generous donors, our supporters, all committee members, volunteers, and everyone present here today. So together we're going to unveil the WEFPA logo, and we're going to stand up as we count down from 10. So let's all stand up, please. Respectfully, please, let us stand up. Thank you. So we start from 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're fine. So I want to appreciate, if you want to know how to get along with the NGO, more about it, please contact Professor Erhun or myself or Professor Titi Fakeye, and we'll be very pleased to let you know what it's all about and how we can proceed from there. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much and congratulations, Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, the launching is still on. So the launching is still on. The account details will be brought back now for us to see. Go ahead. It's just that quite a number of our invited guests that couldn't make it. Launches, sir. Here, sir, please. The launching is going on behind me there. You can please just come, just go there. The Prof himself is here and is autographing. Please ensure that he autographs your own book. If he didn't autograph, you can return to me.
Okay, our own immediate past dean, Professor Francis Oladimeji, has launched with a sum of 50,000 naira. Can we put our hands together?
Wow. The difference is not the same here, sir. Sir, okay, the difference is not the same here. Please, another big round of applause. Thank you, sir. Who says professors are poor? That was in those days. Thank you, sir. So we have quite a number of our invited guests who sent in videos of goodwill messages, congratulations, and it will be unfair. For instance, one of them is Professor Irabo. So if all the way from US is presently not in the country but sent this in, and it will be disrespectful for us not to have some of these plays. So in the next few minutes, we'll quickly do that. We are buying time because an inaugural lecture is taking place here today. And in case you don't know, the lecturer is also from the Faculty of Pharmacy, a mentee of Professor Erhun. And so it's one program or two programs in one. Please, let's take them.
My joy to congratulate Professor Wilson Erhun on his 70th birthday. Professor Erhun is a great professor, a great administrator, a great academician, a great administrator, an innovator, a goal setter, a dogged fighter. We have been neighbors for several years and I've seen firsthand his all-round life. I pray that God will continually bless you and strengthen you and keep you. I pray that your family will continue to advance and that you will use this as an opportunity to reach out to wider generations of people. Congratulations. On behalf of my dear wife and the entire family, I wish you a wonderful birthday. God bless you.
That is turning 70. Glory of God. I want to thank God especially for giving you to me. It's a gift from God. My husband is a special gift that God has blessed me with.
Please just a minute and we do that now, and that will be the last on our program before we take the vote of time. So please, we are mindful of time. Like I mentioned, the Inaugural lecturer is of the Department of Pharmaceutical Microbiology of the
I
Faculty of
bless the
Pharmacy.
name of God. For my husband that is turning 70, to the glory of God. I want to thank God especially for giving him to me. It's a gift from God. My husband is a special gift that God has blessed me with. I never knew what love is until I met him. The kind of love that I've never received from even my parents. And the fear of God that is in him makes him to treat people specially, especially me. So I thank God for God sparing his life to witness this celebration. And I know by the grace of God, there are many, many more of it that are coming in the name of Jesus. He's such a pleasant person. But when you are far away from him, you will think he's strict. My husband is, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a simple person. And, the way he handles, the way he takes care of, he wants to carry me as a baby. But me, because of my background, I want to do something. But my husband just wants me to stay so that he will lavish me with love. That is the kind of man he is. And talking about him as a father to my children, no, the children are blessed with him as their father. I will not be exaggerating if I say that he's even more motherly than myself at heart. In his interaction with them, in every way. And he's so caring, he's so loving. There's nothing that he cannot give. The way he practices it to outsiders, the same way he does to us, even at home. He can share, he can give out anything. And the grace of God upon his life will continue to be multiplied in the name of Jesus. And I know that even though he's stepping aside from public work, he's going to higher ground. It's a time for him to manifest more of the grace of God. What God has deposited in his life, he's going to manifest in a greater dimension in the name of Jesus.
My brother, my friend, and my fellow minister, Pastor Professor Wilson Erhun, for this successful retirement. While I was in the regional pastor's office, he was in inspectorate pastor's office. So we worked together very closely. So I know so many things about him. Pastor Professor Erhun is a man, a servant of God who wants everybody to be successful. He lifts everybody up. As a matter of fact, there are so many people, let me say ministers and missionaries that will have opted out of the ministry, but God helped Professor Erhun to sustain them, and today they are doing well in the work of the Lord. Another thing is, Pastor Professor Erhun is a man who respects leadership. Whoever is ahead of him, you will see him obeying such an individual. I remember time without number, I will call him that social thing is going on even in the night, and before you know it, he will make himself available. There was a time that after, paying for a particular landed property for the church, the problem arose. They said that they will not surrender that land for the church, both the money and the land. And I was about to give up. He was the one who encouraged me. And he said, let's keep on praying. And we started praying almost every week.
Dr.
And
Jegede,
finally,
please.
we won the battle. The land is there for the church today. Pastor Professor Erhun is also a generous giver. You see, there are some of our churches that, he will just quietly do it, give them the money with what they built their church. Nobody will know about it. And all those churches are there today. There was a time that, problem arose, on finance, and it rose up and gave a lot of churches money to keep on moving forward. So it's also a blessing to my family. It's really a blessing to the members of my family. And as you are retiring, I pray that the Lord will continue to take care of you. I want to talk about the wife, Mama Deaconess Professor Mercy Erhun. She's a woman, a wife that always stands by her husband. In fact, she's ready to offer anything so as to make the work of God progressing. I pray for both of you. The Lord will continue to take care of you and your children, your entire family, to the glory of God. Congratulations.
Okay. Please, let's put our hands together. There are quite many goodwill messages, but we just have to stop because of time. What we're noting, actually, from Professor Erhun is that when you are looking for a wife among the young ones, that's why I'm facing you, don't look too far. Just look around you. The wife may be around there. While Prof was serving in Faculty of Pharmacy, he didn't go too far. He just looked within Faculty of Pharmacy and he picked a wife. And today, they are enjoying. So, students, look around and you will get your own wife, your own husband. Okay. But shine your eyes very well. So, please, I'm going to hand over the microphone to the Dean, who is taking over as the chairman of this occasion for his closing remarks before we take the vote of thanks and close.
On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, I want to appreciate every one of us for gracing this occasion. Sorry, we have to give apology to as many that still want to give their goodwill messages that will not be able to allow. It's just because inaugural lecture will be taking place here by 5 o'clock by a professor in the Faculty of Pharmacy, Professor E.O. Akikumi. And before the inaugural by 5, a lot of arrangement has to go on in this auditorium. So it is the venue that is limiting us, not that we want to underrate anybody. Please just kindly bear with us. Our goodwill messages can still continue to Professor Erhun by the grace of God. So the Vice Chancellor asked me to greet everyone and apologize for not being here personally. Thank you all. I wish you safe journey back to your destination. God bless you.
And by the way, our own Professor Grace Onaomi has launched. She has transferred the sum of 40,000 naira for a copy. I hope they'll get a copy to her now. Thank you, Prof. All right, thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. While, okay, vote of thanks from my head of department.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate everyone for waiting this long. It has been fulfilling. It has been an exciting time. So many things have taken place here today, and I'm sure Professor Erhun feels very honored. So quickly before we go, we have a cake to cut. You know, we have a cake on behalf of the committee and the planning committee, mentees and mentors of
wife of our former president, PSN, leads.
Prof, once again, congratulations. We want to cut this cake. In the name of Jesus, we will spare Jesus. So, Ma, he put your hand and all of us can stretch. So join him. So we'll spell Jesus. J-E-S-U-S. It's by his grace that our Prof has reached this age. And we wish you greater heights, good health of mind and body. Congratulations.
Happy birthday. That is all I can say. I wish you many happy returns. Is your mommy here? Is your daddy here? Are your friends here?
Okay. Let me invite Egono Erhun to give vote of thanks by the daughter.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Permit me to stand on existing protocols. On behalf of Professor Wilson Oyekigo Erhun, I stand here with a heart that is full, proud, and slightly emotional, though my father, being a professor of pharmacy administration, would probably prefer I describe it as clinically overwhelmed. Today has been more than a celebration of 47 years of service and 70 years of remarkable existence. It has been a masterclass in impact. We have listened to various tributes from people who have traveled from far and near. Clearly, my father did not merely teach pharmacy administration at the university. He administered wisdom generously and without prescription limits. That it is impossible not to stand here in awe. You have shown us that greatness and gentleness can coexist, that scholarship can wear humility, that leadership does not always need noise, and that retirement is not the end of relevance, it's simply the end of staff meetings, amongst other things. To everyone who traveled from near and far, who sent goodwill messages, who shared memories, and to our dear organizers of this event, and people who have honored us with their presence here today, I thank you very deeply. To the OAU principal officers, government principal officers and members, WAPCP, the Erhun and Onoadowan family, the planning committee, my dad's very many colleagues who I've seen here today, to his mentees, to students and everyone here present. We want to say thank you so very much. We thank you once again for celebrating
So sorry, that's our farm. Thank you so much, sir. Let's appreciate him. Let's celebrate him, sir. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations again, sir.
A round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you. As we prepare to leave the hall, the students will go out through my left, the door there, They will collect their package, their refreshment package is there. Then all others will go through this door. The guests will go through this other door. You collect your refreshment there, please. All right, thank you. Thank you. Closing prayer now.
Let us rise and just give thanks to God. Father, we give you all the glory. Raise your hand and give him thanks for this session. Father, we thank you. Lord, we gathered here to celebrate a milestone. Father, we thank you for 47 years of service. Lord, we know, oh God, this is just the beginning, that our friend, our professor, our mentor will finish strong in the mighty name of Jesus. And many of us who came here to witness this event, we shall also be celebrated in the mighty name of Jesus. Those who are living here, Lord, we pray for journey mercies in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you, Father, for we prayed in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much. There is a there'll be photo stand at the entrance of the hall downstairs. So those of us who would like to have a photograph with the celebrant, please hang around when you get downstairs. We have a place for photo shoot right there. Thank you very much. Wishing everybody journey mercies. Thank you for coming. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much. DJ, give us some music.
Recording stopped.
For 47 remarkable years, a visionary, a mentor, a scholar, and a pillar in the pharmacy profession has shaped lives, transformed institutions, and inspired generations across Africa. The family, friends, mentees, and students of Professor Wilson O. Erhun, FPSN, cordially invite you to a grand celebration in honor of an icon of pharmacy administration, as it marks the 70th birthday celebration, retirement, valedictory lecture, book presentation, and the public unveiling of the Wilson Erhun Foundation for Pharmacy Administration, WEFPA. Join us as we celebrate a lifetime of wisdom, impact, legacy, and scholarship, featuring the launch of the book, Pharmacy Jurisprudence in West Africa. Chairman of the occasion, Professor Adebayo Simeon Bamiwe, Vice Chancellor, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Book reviewer, Professor Noel Wanang, Vice Chancellor, Federal University, Pankshin. Date, Tuesday 26 May 2026, time 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Venue, Oduduwa Hall, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State. For inquiries, call 0706 641 5687 or 0803 466 6327. Come and celebrate excellence, celebrate leadership, celebrate legacy. Professor Wilson O. Erhun, a life devoted to knowledge, service, and humanity.